Hello, everyone, and welcome to Solshow. My name is Sol, and today I want to talk to you about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. A little bit of background before we go into this review. So, The Conjuring multiverse cinematic universe is probably like my least favorite cinematic universe. And I don't dislike the idea of having a horror movie like franchise that has all these spin-offs and actually like connects all these things. I sat through like 9 Saw movies, and I liked most of them, so that'll tell you something right there. But the Conjuring movies are, for me at least, either very forgettable or just bad. I've seen The Nun. I did not like that. I've seen all the Annabelle films. I did not like any of them. The first 2 Conjuring movies I do remember enjoying, but I don't really remember them, TBH. And I thought about rewatching all the Conjuring movies before seeing Devil Made Me Do It, but I did not have time. So I walked into this film like, hey, maybe I won't even do a review. Maybe I won't even understand what's going on in the film. And after walking out, I was like, oh, I understood everything, even the small little callbacks that I was supposed to be like, do you remember the other movie? All those I got. I watched some other like extracurricular homework YouTube videos going even deeper in depths, and I don't think I was missing much. And I'm not going to ever watch this film again. So let's just get the review out of the way. So, Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It is about a family that gets cursed. They have a young boy who was possessed, and then that possessed monster devil creature goes into another person, and that guy kills somebody, and then he goes to trial for it. And guess what? It was all based on a true story. This was the first time in history that possession was used as a defense in a court of law. And that's like the marketing of the film, but there's actually very little to do with that court case. We're pretty much just running the numbers of possession movies. The beginning of the film, you're going to see this little kid. Have you seen a possessed person before? Did they like contort their body and scream? And they do the exact same thing in this film. And after that, it kind of becomes it's almost like a road trip movie because we're just going from location to location, and we're pretty much just, playing Detective Batman as we're trying to uncover the truths of what really happened and what's going on with this curse, and we learn the rules of certain things. And I think most of the film was actually pretty inoffensive to me. I was kind of just nodding my head. I was like, "Hey, like there is some good stuff in here. I'll get my compliments out of the way." I think the editing of this film was actually pretty life-saving. This film, if it was edited differently or if they just didn't have as good of effects or the budget, I don't think this film would have been half as good. The story, the characters, the writing, that's the dog shit. It feels like a TV movie. It feels like some shit I'd see on the Sci-Fi Channel, script-wise. But again, um, it's a competent film, and these 2 characters, obviously, the Warrens are, like, the stars of this franchise at this point, and you could tell their performances, they're trying. There's a lot of people in this film trying, and I will always respect that, but at the end of the day, the heart of this film is rotten mush. And at the heart of this film, it's just another Conjuring movie, just pumping out another movie. Let's get some more money. Let's get some asses in seats. And that's exactly what happened here again. I think I wasn't really offended until the final act of the movie. Things get a little bit cornier. At one point, the bad guy's motivation, someone was just like, who cares why they're doing this? We just got to worry about like, and I was like, what? And then like again, this is all based off a real story. And there's a part in this film where the Mrs. Warren is displaying like superpowers. That's stupid. And then at the end of the film, when we go into the epilogue, this is going to be a spoiler. I apologize. Fast forward like a minute or two if you don't want to be spoiled. But they close the film out with him getting 5 years, which is already dumb because he's doing more possession shit in this movie. There's, like, witnesses, a whole, like, a whole giant building is being affected by this dude's possession. There's people seeing it, but no, none of that gets involved in the court. But after that, this guy gets 5 years for killing somebody, and the way this film makes it look is that, like, hey, after the 5 years, he got out and he lived a happy life and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sorry, but, like, this guy potentially did murder people in real life. Like, I don't think my religion should ever have to get, like, involved with these reviews, but for the sake of it, like, yeah, I'm agnostic. I don't really believe in, if I believe in demonic creatures, it's not the ones being betrayed in this films. So when I see that, I'm like, "Oh, we're just kinda celebrating this guy who potentially murdered people. Awesome." That's the part that really loses me. That's the part that I was actually pretty offended by. Other than that, though, it's a competent enough film. It could have been a 6, it could have been a 5, but, like, the more I watched it, the more frustrated I became, and really, it's the biggest way I could describe the movie is unnecessary. This film did not need to exist. This film did not accomplish anything. Like, these 2 go on a journey together, but it's not like Conjuring 4, like, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't see Conjuring 3 where, like, the character development, like, you how are you confused? You'll be fine. You can just watch the next film. You don't need to watch this film. It's just another day in the life of these 2 fuckers over here, and that's just not enough for me, and the film itself, the scares are pretty predictable. Um, it did get a little intense at some point, but again, it's way too scatterbrained. The movie does not know what it wants to do most of the time. It's a pretty safe, underwhelming movie. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It a 4 out of 10. Not my film, not gonna watch it again, no thank you. But if you enjoyed the film, I would love to know why, or if you have any other thoughts you'd like to share with me, please let me know in those comments down below. It's a sexy time down there. Get in there, get in there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, with that, I leave you.